Hi everyone. Welcome. Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry,
What do
bro.
you want me to do? Be enthusiastic. Hi, welcome back to What's Up London.
You can't say hi, everyone.
Because that's me being like. Anyway, all right. Hi, welcome back to What's Up London. We're here with Dewayne Carrington Jones from Grown Arse Men. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Long drive, but I'm good.
Only you will complain. Anyway, so yeah, welcome to the show. I just want you to tell me a bit about Grown Arse Men. It's been word on the street. A lot of people have been talking about it. So just let me know how it came together.
So Grown Arse Men. So basically, it started in a WhatsApp group.
Okay.
We sat down and we always chat crap in our group in it, and we fancied ourselves to be funny to other people because obviously we crack ourselves up. And one day we said, you know, other people would find this funny. So we headed up to one of my friend's houses and we sat there for hours just discussing the dynamics of the show and how we could push it forward. It started with about, I think it was 6 of us that started the show. Went back to another bread and jar to actually shoot it. Shot it on the phone. The image was horrible. Yeah. We thought it was funny and it's good, but the shot was horrible. It was just dark and there was nothing visually appealing about it. From there, it's just started to evolve over time. Generally, what we do is we speak on the community. When I say community, I'm talking about the black community and the issues that we go through, and how we can help out with those problems. We also speak on hot topics, current topics that are going off at the time, that we feel that we can have an opinion on. Of recent, we've just moved radio stations, so we're currently on Pulse FM.
Yeah.
On a Thursday from 7 till 9.
How's that going?
It's all right, you know.
You was on another station before.
Yeah, we was
that
on World
previously.
FM. And that was another trek for me, man. Traveling.
Yeah, so.
No, I was traveling all the way down to South London from West, man. It was a trek. But yeah, so we're at Pulse now. It's going all right. I think like I said, obviously Corona's kind of just derailed everything.
Yeah.
Like this year was supposed to be the year where we was gonna set live shows and so forth. We all had moon planned, got the tickets all sold, and then Corona, or Rona, whatever you want to call it, just came through and just wrecked everything. So now we're just trying to pick it all back up and get the momentum going again because we kind of lost our way. We was doing like shows on Instagram, but it's just not the same feel when you're at home by yourself and your man them are in their house. You don't get the same vibe. Whilst people were still enjoying it, we weren't enjoying it.
Right.
And for me, that's a big factor in what we do.
Have you got any up and coming dates for the new live show?
No, because of obviously all the rules in place, we've got to wait for them to drop them and let them down. Like obviously the tickets are sold. And we've had to say to look, if you want a refund, obviously you can get that. But we've had to just postpone that for the time being. But I think the good thing about it, we've come up with different ideas in the meantime. So it's kind of helped us grow a little bit with how the live show will be presented. Right, okay. Which is a good look for us.
Okay, and also, you said that you started with 6. What happened to the other members?
So yeah, we started with 6, and as time went on, people's commitments changed. Okay. And we had different visions. Like some people wanted to do this, some like with the ones that are left. Yeah. Who
are the current members that are left?
So we've got Craig, who's the host of the show. We've got Marlon, technical guy, Darren, and myself. Okay. Now, with us, we kind of got to the point where we just didn't mind just chilling and doing a show. Like, I didn't care how much money was to be made. That was just beside the point for us. Okay. Whereas others were interested in trying to make money. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But that can't be the driving force for me. It can't. Like, I've got to enjoy what I'm doing. Yeah, definitely. So we just had a bit of creative differences. So yeah, one dropped out 1 week. When he dropped out, we knew the next member was going to follow because they're kind of like that. Okay. So then, yeah, that was that. Don't get me wrong, one of them still helps us out from time to time. If we got to we had a couple of live shows on New Year's Eve, and he's filled in for members whilst we've been away still. Okay, that's good. So they're still supportive. Yeah. And that's very important. Okay, also, I know that you're also a foster parent, and that's something that I'm really interested in because there's not a lot of young black foster parents. So how did you get into that and how do you find it? So basically I've always grown up around fostering. My nan did it, my mum's friends did it. and I was always interested in it, but I don't know if I ever considered doing it myself until I got with my partner. Whilst I'm married, I know I ain't got a ring on and that, but I am married.
Where is your ring?
It's at home on the side. I know that sounds so bad.
At home on the side. Really?
It's there, innit? But yeah, so we were discussing adoption. Okay. But this was just before my daughter was born. We said when our child would like to adopt her, we were just getting a feelings out to have a feel about how it was going, and we went to an open day kind of thing, and we met someone in the crowd. I think they were just trying to scout foster carers. So they basically then said to us, look, why don't you give it a try, give fostering a try first, and get a feeling of the industry, and whether you would like to do something like that moving forward, rather than get involved, take someone on permanently, and that's what you've got to do. So we said, all right, cool, we'll keep in touch with them, because obviously at this point my daughter wasn't born. Yeah. And at the point I was still working for the Met Police.
Oh, you was a Fed.
No, I was not a Fed.
You're a Fed.
No Feds.
You was working for the Met. That was your Fed.
Administrative duties.
Your Fed. You was a Fed.
Yeah, okay, so like, I was still currently working, and I was writing my book at the time as well. We'll get onto that in a minute. But yeah, we'll get onto that. So yeah, obviously that was going on, but I at this point I wanted to leave. Right. Okay. And I needed 9 to 5. This wasn't for me. Yeah. So I needed an avenue that was going to work for me. So we got into this. I had my daughter, and we started discussing how this fostering thing's going to work out. Started the ball rolling, and the process kind of picked up speed rapidly. Okay. And it kind of just fell into place, because like as soon as we got approved and stuff, I got fired. Oh. Yeah.
From being a Fed.
From the Met Police. Yeah, so I got fired from the Met Police, and it kind of just fell in place. And as soon as I got fired, within like a month, we had a placement in. Oh, okay. And basically the ball got rolling from there, and we just pushed on from there. So with regards to, I know you're going to ask why I got fired. Growing up, I was a bit rebellious. Looking back at it now, I think I could have handled things slightly different. Yeah. But I was very rebellious. So basically, when I was told to do things and stuff like that, if it weren't my job role, I just weren't doing it. Okay. So
you was extra, like I'm only doing what is.
No, you know what it was? I felt like I was young in it, and I felt like people took the mick out of me because I was young. Yeah. Like I joined the Met Police, and I joined with a guy that was about, I think he was 43. Okay. We both came in on 17 grand, and within 2 months, they had moved him up. So when I was asking, it's because of
age.
They gave me a whole heap of nonsense. They didn't use age because they can't just do that. They said it was an error. He shouldn't have been on that to start with, and all this kind of nonsense. But you just took the mick out of me because I was young. And looking back at it, I shouldn't have stood for it. Yeah. But
that's what you get for wanting to work with the Feds. Shut up. That's what you get. That's what you get. Who does that?
So like, what was I talking about? Getting fired. Yeah. So from early, they didn't like me because I was very on things. Like one time I went into the office with the manager, my manager's manager, and she's like, yeah, something. Us Jamaicans need to sit together. I have no Jamaican bloodline. So I'm like, listen, every black person is not Jamaican.
Us Caribbeans should have stick together.
So I pulled her up on it, and from then, she didn't like you. She just didn't like me. So basically, at this point, I broke my leg playing football, and I didn't like reading at all. Like, reading was just not for me, and my friend bought me a book. Yeah. But I was laid up. The hospital's TV was kind of pricey, so I got into reading this book called West Side Story, and I really enjoyed it. Like the visuals that I created in my mind, I was like, "Right, this is it," kind of thing. Yeah. So then when I went back to work, I started writing. Okay. Yeah. But obviously on their time. Yeah. So I'd write, and then I'd send them the chapter via to my own email and so forth, and then I got pulled up for sending home one of the chapters that contained the word nigger.
So they were looking at what you were sending home?
Yeah, they were looking for anything to fire me. Bear in mind, I got fired twice. Okay. So I got fired. They had to reinstate me because it was wrongful, and then they pulled me up the second time for using the word. And then I said to myself, you know what, I can't be arsed, and I just left it. So most of the book was already wrote. Yeah. I then obviously got fired. I had 2 months between me becoming a foster carer and so forth. So I then sat down and I finished off the book, and that was that. And that's how I got my book wrote.
Okay, what was your first book?
My first book was this one. It's called Secrets.
Show it to the camera.
It's here. And this kind of takes you on a story with three guys from South London. They go through their love story and their life and what happens in their life. Basically, they're complete different characters, but they're friends. And like, one of them's really good with the women, one's a bit of a bum and kind of grasps onto his religion and so forth. And a lot of stuff goes on during the story, and they've all got a secret. Okay. And it's about whether or not it's going to disrupt their friendships or ruin their lives, basically.
Okay, that sounds good. And what other books have you written?
Yeah, and then obviously I had kids over the time, and whilst I was having kids, some of the time having certain conversations with your children, it's hard to just go straight into those conversations. So I decided that it was best if I put it into the form of book. So with this one, The Inquisitive Destiny, about your body, this one was about not allowing people to interfere or touch your body.
Okay.
Yeah. So it goes into a lot of detail of why you shouldn't allow for that. Not graphic detail, but enough for a child to know that someone shouldn't be touching them.
Yeah, inappropriately, yeah. Also, that's really interesting because I think that's a topic that's not spoken about enough in all communities, not just the Black community. But I also find out that there's not a lot of Black books for children, even like in schools and stuff.
Yeah, that's another issue.
Yeah. And then your last one?
And then this was the first child book I wrote. And this one's about, it speaks on melanin, what makes us Black.
Okay.
It speaks about Africa and the negatives, the way it's looked at, and it shows you the positive things about Africa and gives you a better understanding of our people and so forth. And then obviously it's a colouring in book as well.
Okay, that's good.
So they get to colour in, and it's got like a quiz at the end, and they can go through it, tell them what they've learned from the book and so forth.
That's really good. And so where can people purchase this stuff?
All three of them are available on Amazon.
Okay.
But I do prefer people to buy them at lulu.com because I get a bit more.
And can people like DM you for you to send them to them if you tell them what
you can do.
is?
If you contact me at Carrington, CARRINGTON 1981 at gmail.com. Yes, I am very old, 1981. I'm looking well.
Alright, cool. And then obviously I know that lastly you do trading. So if anyone's interested in trading, get into that DMs too.
So with my trading journey, and that's part of Grown Arse Men. So we've got a Grown Arse Men Financial Academy.
Okay. Where
we speak about trading, mortgages, debts, and stuff like that.
And who do you do that with? Is it all
I'm under a company called MA Finance.
No, I mean, is it all of you Grown Arse Men? Or
no, it's just me and Craig currently that deal with this side of things. So I've been trading since, well, I got involved in trading last year, November, and I'm a very skeptical person. It's hard to convince me. So when someone told me about it, they told me about it maybe October, I was like, nah, I'm not really interested. She goes, come on, just give it a chance. So she said to me, at least allow the person to speak to you. Yeah. So I said, all right, cool, I'll hear him out. I went down to Canada Square and I sat down and I listened. Now, within about 20 minutes, I'd made up my mind that this is what I was going to do. Okay. Bearing in mind, I'm very skeptical with things like this, but I'm always someone who don't like paying for stuff, and I'm just, when it comes to money,
we know. He's
like
tight. Very tight.
So when I heard that I've got to pay for a service, I was like, no, it just sounds like, for me, it just sounds like I'm paying, I'm not really going to get nothing back in it, and I'm just wasting my money. Yeah. But then it showed me the product, and I was like, you know what, this can work. So then I obviously signed up, but it was obviously tail end of the year, Christmas was coming up, didn't have real money to really push into it, so I kind of sat on it for about 2 months, even though I was paying. January came, and then I went to a convention, and due to the demographic of people that were there, I knew that I was in the right space. Okay. I was like, if these people are here, I know I'm doing the right thing.
I don't know what that means, but
no. Yeah. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I see what happened to Wiley in that. So I said, I know this is the right space for me to be. So I sat down, I spoke to a couple of people, and they gave me the pointers where to go with what I was doing. So plugged into a few educators, and I kind of plugged in really hard.
What are educators? Just so people know.
Basically, with the company that I'm with, you obviously learn, but at the same time, there are educators who teach you how to trade, right? But they give you their trades. Okay. So you can make money whilst you're learning. So the whole journey while I'm doing it is teaching me so much about myself, which I just didn't expect. Like for me, whilst I always known that I don't like to spend money, I didn't consider myself greedy. Right. Money was never at the forefront of my mind, and I never considered that. But when I started doing this and started, like I went in there saying, if I can make an extra £100 here a month, I'll be cool.
Yeah.
And then when I started making it in a day, I'm like, well, this ain't enough.
Yeah.
So I quickly changed it, but my greed kind of gets in the way. And like, that's the biggest, I think that's my biggest problem with the whole thing.
Okay.
My greed. Like, I've turned, my first £1,000, I turned into £5,000.
That's good.
Within, I think it took a month and a half.
Yeah.
But that was me copying. I was just copying trading. And then,
what's copy and trading mean? Sorry.
So basically, the educator will give you the trade.
Right. Okay.
And I'll just put it into my MetaTrader and I'm gone with it.
Right.
Without actually having to do anything. But that was just me copying. I didn't have a clue what I was doing and so forth. And I said to myself, you know what, Dewayne, you have to actually plug in. You need to learn, because if this guy goes, you ain't got nothing. I don't have a clue. So I sat down there and I plugged into another educator, because I didn't, whilst I was copying and it was working, I didn't actually like his style.
Right.
So I plugged into another educator, and her method just hit home straight away.
Right.
So I started just taking little bits of money and just plugging in, and it started working. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go in. So I slapped in another grand, and then I turned in 14 days. I turned that to £7 grand. Wow. 14 days quick. I was chuffed at this point. And all I kept thinking to myself is, you know what, you're gonna be gone.
Millionaire.
So you're gonna be gone. So I'm sitting there and I was saying to my wife, you need to get involved, like this is it, kind of thing. But there are rules in place for a reason.
Right, okay.
Of which I wasn't following any of the rules. They say you're only supposed to have 5 trades open at a time, use different lot, I can't get into the details, but different lot sizes and so forth. Yeah. I had 13 trades open at one time.
So you was being greedy.
Right, but your account can't hold all of that.
Right, okay.
So when it was all going the wrong way now, after I made that £7 grand, I lost it all in one day. And a part of the reason why I lost it all in one day was because
I feel hurt, like it's my money.
My impulsive behaviour. Like, I've got like funny, odd ways. Like if I turn the TV up, it has to be on an even number. Like I've just got very odd things. So basically, when your trades are red, it means they're in a negative, innit? Yeah. And all of them were red. And I said, you know what? I'm just closing these down. And I just closed them all down. Yeah.
Just because it was in the red.
I don't know what was going through. I just closed them all down. Yeah. And then within 45 minutes, 3 of them went and hit TP, which would have probably given me another 2.5 bags.
Oh my God.
I sat there and I said to myself, why did you do this? And the point, one of my friends was telling me, don't do it, don't do it. But I'm so impulsive. And I just sat there for about 20 minutes just thinking to myself, like, you got to get around this. So I've just spent a lot of time now working on my mindset and how I do it. But because of obviously fostering, at the time I normally foster 3 kids and I'd lost 2. Okay. So that's 2/3 of my income gone. So I didn't have the money to plug back in. Right. I had what was in there, but that was like, I had about £400 left in there. Yeah. So it wasn't really much. So I stopped stopped for a minute. I only recently got back in fully involved and I'm just going again. But yeah, trading is something that I think if you can plug into it and if you've got the time, I reckon a lot of people should do it, because you think that it's hard. Yeah. And it's just not. It's just such an easy thing to do if you know and you've got the skills given to you. Okay.
All right, well, that's a lot of stuff for people to be considering. Thanks for coming.
No problem.
It's a pleasure to have you. Hopefully you can come back after the live. I'll be at the live in a way, so you'll see me there. But yeah, thanks for coming.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it.
All right, bye.